Hi again. I hope you're having a good holiday season so far. Today is all about Hanukkah and the delicious foods that are eaten during the celebration. At the end, I'll share a recipe for my favorite Hanukkah treat, rugelach. Hanukkah, which means dedication, is celebrated for 8 days, usually beginning around mid to late December. Also known as the Festival of Lights, the observance recalls the Jews' struggle for religious freedom and celebrates their triumph against the Hellenistic Syrians in 165 BCE. Our story begins when the Greek king of Syria had prohibited Jewish rituals and ordered the Jews to worship Greek gods. In 168, he seized the holy temple of the Jews and dedicated it to the worship of Zeus. While some Jews feared the Greek soldiers and avoided angering them, many had had enough and decided to fight back. There was an uprising in Modian near Jerusalem. The high priest Matthias and his sons, along with the rest of the villagers, assaulted and slaughtered the Greek soldiers who were forcing them to bow down before a false god. Matthias' family hid in the nearby mountains after the incident, where they were joined by many other Jews who were ready to oppose the Greeks. Matthias died about a year after the rebellion began, but before he died, he declared his son Judah Maccabee as the leader of the Jewish army. After about 3 years of struggle, the Jews overcame the much stronger and better armed Greek forces. When Judah Maccabee and his forces entered the Holy Temple, they were dismayed by the sight of missing and broken items. They cleaned and revamped the temple, and when finished, decided to rededicate it. They sought to light the menorah for the celebrations. After searching thoroughly for oil, they found a flask containing only enough oil to last a day. Extraordinarily, the oil sustained itself for 8 days, allowing the Maccabees enough time to procure new oil. On the first night of Hanukkah, a single candle is lit by the worshippers in every home. On each successive night, another candle is added until the final night, when all the lights are lit. The candles are placed in the menorah from right to left, but lit from left to right. The tallest candle, known as the shamash, is used to light the other candles. Blessings are recited each night before the lights are lit. Historically, Hanukkah was considered a minor Jewish holiday. It is not mentioned in the Hebrew Bible. During the 1900s, Hanukkah gained importance and popularity. Like the Christmas holiday, which falls around the same time of year, Hanukkah has become increasingly commercialized. In Western countries, giving and receiving gifts has become a central part of both holidays, especially for children. Hanukkah has no special ritual meal, but it is traditional to have parties and eat foods fried in oil. Some of these foods include latkes and sufganiyot. These treats fried in oil recall the miracle of the oil of the temple. Because there's no traditional meal, many different treats are eaten, including the one we're making today, rugelach. The word rugelach is believed to be derived from the Yiddish word meaning little corners. Some sources say that rugelach originated in Austria to commemorate the lifting of the Turkish siege. The crescent shape was chosen to mirror the emblem of the Ottoman Empire, allowing the Austrian victors to symbolically devour their enemy. Some historians believe it to be pure legend, since the rugelach's ancestor, the German Kipfel, predates the modern era. Others believe the Romanian counterpart called cornulet is a more probable origin. Whatever the true origin for rugelach is, the first recipes were introduced to America by immigrants from Hungary, Russia, Poland, and Yugoslavia. Americans have converted the traditional rugelach recipe from a yeast-rising dough to a yeastless dough based off cream cheese and sour cream. The Israelis, however, still make a dairy-free dough by kneading and rising, making the process significantly more arduous. When it comes to fillings and coatings, there are also differences between American style and Israeli style, with Americans using raspberry jams, apricots, raisins, poppy seeds, and nuts. Israelis use syrupy coatings, rich chocolate, Nutella, cinnamon paste, pistachio crumbles, and date spreads. Hopefully, our rugelach will come out looking like one of these. Okay, so onto our recipe. You'll need 8 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature, half a pound of unsalted butter at room temperature, a quarter cup of granulated sugar plus 9 tablespoons, a quarter teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 cups of flour, a quarter cup of light brown sugar, 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 cup of walnuts finely chopped, and 1 egg for egg wash. The recipe also calls for a half a cup of apricot preserves, but I chose to use something I had in my house, which was apple butter. Cream your cheese and butter in an electric mixer until light. Add a quarter cup of your granulated sugar, your salt, and vanilla. With the mixer on low speed, add flour and mix until just combined. Dump the dough onto a well-floured board and shape it into a ball. Cut the ball in quarters, wrap each piece in plastic, and refrigerate for 1 hour. To make the filling, chop up your walnuts. I used a food processor. Combine 6 tablespoons of granulated sugar, the brown sugar, a half a teaspoon cinnamon, and the walnuts. On a well-floured board, roll each ball of dough into a 9-inch circle. Make sure you don't jump the gun like I did and start cutting early. Wait until you've put the filling on top of the dough. Spread the dough with 2 tablespoons of the apricot preserves or whatever filling you'd like. This is the caramel pecan apple butter I'm using. Sprinkle with half a cup of the filling. Cut the circle into 12 equal wedges, cutting the whole circle in quarters and then each quarter into thirds. Or if you're like me and have trouble with math, you can cut it into 8 pieces like a pizza. Starting with the wider end of the triangle, roll up each wedge, making sure that the points are tucked under. Place the cookies points tucked under on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Chill for 30 minutes. When they're done chilling, brush each cookie with the egg wash. For an extra boost of sweetness, you can sprinkle the cookies with sugar and cinnamon. Bake for 15 to 20 minutes until lightly browned. Remove to a wire rack and let cool. Then enjoy your delicious treat. Thank you for joining me today and have a wonderful holiday season.
Support public libraries. Like, share, and subscribe for more great videos.